Welcome back to the ASUG News Studio. My name is Tom Whalegum, co-editorial director of ASUG News. Delighted to have Stephen Wilson in the broadcast studio today. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
He's wearing green, which is apropos. He's from John Deere, and he is the, let me see if I get this right, IT division leader for SAP Innovation, Information, and Data.
Correct.
What is that actually job? Stephen's doing a great presentation on building information and data innovation organization here at
Correct.
conference, and we're going to talk a lot about those themes, but talk a little bit first about your role at Deere, what your job is, and maybe how we talked a little bit before about how that's changed over the years. Have you guys approached SAP now?
Sure. So my role at John Deere is around the information and data space.
Mm-hmm.
So that includes HANA, obviously. You have the EDW stuff, so BW.
Okay.
The BI space. You have EPM in there, mobile, and some ILM. So it's a big area.
Is there anything you don't have?
EIM. I also have EIM, if I didn't mention
Right.
that. So
I think you've got the whole suite there.
there's a big area there that we're trying to really focus on and clean some things up internally around how we handle our data and information.
Can you talk a little bit about maybe the before the approach at Deere to SAP, and now how you guys have revitalized the organization, re-energized with a kind of a different outlook on how you approach that today?
Sure. So back in the past, about a year and a half ago, how we were structured was we were very divisional. Mm-hmm. So what that meant from a business partner engagement model is that the business partners went to their division SAP function to ask for requests, enhancements, implementations. Mm-hmm. Each division function had different processes and procedures they followed. Mm-hmm. So what we did about a year and a half ago was we actually consolidated all our SAP function into one organization.
Okay.
What that meant was we could leverage common processes, technology, and people to do our jobs more efficiently. Mm-hmm. So that's what it used to be.
What was the rationale, and who was kind of in charge of this reorganization? Was that strictly an IT thing, or did you guys have the business involvement working together and doing this?
So this was set up to enable some of our business ambitions. Mm-hmm. So John Deere's a global company, and there's more people in the world, so we hit 7 billion people this year. Sure. So at the end of the day, we need to support that global growth, that we need to sell our tractors and our services in different countries. So to do that, we had to align our SAP organizations under one umbrella so that we could align common processes and procedures so that we could start rolling out our SAP implementations faster, quicker, using template methodology.
Okay. So what does it look like today? What's the overall?
Right. So today what we did was we took the SAP, we put it all under one umbrella, and then we actually broke it into two pieces. We broke it into a delivery arm and an innovation arm. Okay. So what that means is delivery is focused on support and implementation, and innovation is focused on looking at the way we do things today. Is there improvements can be made, as well as looking at how our business strategy is going and seeing what opportunities we have in the SAP space to align to that going forward.
I think a lot of your fellow ASUG members would be like, that sounds really great, because there are kind of different, those are very different requirements for
Yes.
companies.
Yeah.
How would you advise them to kind of start a conversation like this? Clearly, this is something everyone at Deere has bought into. What would you say to ASUG members who says, Stephen, that sounds great, but how do I get started? How do we even start the conversation?
So you start that conversation by looking at how your delivery organization functions today, mm-hmm. and you say, okay, well, what are they doing today? Are they just doing support and implementation? Are you asking them to do looking forward, right, new tools and technologies? Because if you're asking them to do all three of those, support's going to take priority one, implementation two, and then innovation's going to be left whenever you have time, right? Nights, weekends, and time you shouldn't be doing it. So.
Right. Let's talk about, we also discussed your partnership actually with SAP. You guys have really reached out to them and made it more collaborative. Can you talk a little bit about how that has helped in terms of some of the maintenance and support things, as well as getting experts in there to help with HANA and other innovative things?
Sure. So we've actually taken two different approaches that help align us from a whole SAP perspective. Mm-hmm. The one thing we did was, from a support and implementation standpoint, is we actually engaged in with the SAP Max Attention Services. Mm-hmm. So what that gives us is a higher visibility within their organization around support and implementations. So the Max Attention, we actually have people on site from SAP that know what we're implementing, what we're looking at. So they're there to help us from a safeguarding perspective, pre- and post-go-live checks. The other piece of that on the innovation side is we've actually engaged in what we call a value partnership with SAP. what that means is that we are partnering with SAP to look at solutions, to define our requirements of where we're going as a business.
Yep.
And then they're going out and they're aligning people to our organization. So I have 3 colleagues that we have buddies at SAP through a value partnership.
Yep.
In our particular areas where they're going out, reaching out into SAP to give us answers and to get us quicker movement in some of the projects we're looking at.
Has it been worth it? Do you guys get the attention that you think you're paying for?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can you give us some examples of where this new relationship has helped Deere on a project or a recent implementation or
Sure.
recent something you can think of?
Sure. So from a value partnership perspective, what we're seeing there is that when we start looking at these new solutions, SAP is right there at the table with us. They understand what we're trying to do. And they're actually being proactive and saying, hey, we have some people we can engage you on. One of those examples would be an SAP landscape study we just did.
Okay.
So what we're trying to do is we're trying to grow globally, but our SAP landscapes, as it sits today, we know it's going to change in the future. So what we did was we had a project to go out, look at our as-is and our to-be, and then determine what that roadmap is to get to the to-be. Our value partners were very critical in that piece to help understand from an innovation side
Right.
where the business is going, right? What we're doing in the max attention space of how we're keeping that ship afloat,
Right.
and then aligning our roadmap and helping us define a roadmap to get to that to-be state where we can say we're really at where we want to be to support our business growth going forward.
How do you, as being on the innovation side, how do you keep up with all the, SAP, it seems like in the last 2 years they have been turbocharged with unleashing innovative products and services all over the place. How do you and your teams, pick and choose kind of, all right, this is going to be interesting to us, this isn't? Are there certain things you go by to make sure you're, all right, this is going to actually help us and deliver some business value, and this is not, we're interested right now, not on our roadmap?
Right, so you got to take that input from the business correct. The first thing you have to do.
Right.
And determine what are they trying to do from a business strategy perspective, or what are they trying to enable. You look at the solutions in the functional space and you determine, okay, do these help the business grow in those areas?
Right.
As well as you look at it from a information and data space, right? It's the big buzz. You got to look at that and say, are we doing things the right way today? Are we doing them like we want to do them?
Right.
And then looking at those opportunities, right? So you look at HANA and the mobility and the BI and all that, at least in my area, and see huge opportunity in how we can improve how we deliver information back to our business partners.
Right. Do you feel like SAP is doing a good enough job communicating their roadmap in that, you don't go off in one direction with them and all of a sudden they change your direction, and your guys are saying, oh, we were kind of going down that path. And do you feel like you're getting that communication with all the
Absolutely.
partnerships?
Yep. I don't think we had that visibility before our realignment as well as our value partnership and max attention.
Right.
We do have that visibility now, and we can ask questions to the right people, and they do get us answers. It was more difficult before because you didn't have those inroads to talk to the right people to get the right answers.
Right.
Today, with our account executive team knowing what we're trying to do, our value partnership, max attention, all of those pieces are really helping us get to the right answer and that roadmap of where's this solution going? Is it the right time to engage in that solution, or do we wait? Right? Those are questions we're trying to answer in the innovation space.
Right.
Our motto is to look at these solutions, do it quickly, and report out. So, as my director says, it's fail fast, fall forward. Right.
Right.
We're going to know more at the end of it, regardless of if we implement it or not, which is a huge benefit, and it relieves us of some of that burden of feeling that we're successful or not successful. Because at the end of the day, we know more than we did at the beginning. So.
Yep. SAP is trying to get people, non-IT people excited about their products, obviously with the end users. Is there any products that your business users, the non-IT people, are really excited about today that you've been able to show them and say, hey, we can help with this business product? Is there one particular thing or two things that they're...
So HANA, obviously, you hear it all over the place.
Right.
We're seeing some huge benefit in what we can do in their reporting space. So BW is a great tool, but it doesn't handle a lot of the reporting needs that your business needs.
Right.
So what we've done was we've taken HANA and we've actually implemented a POC with some data. We've had tremendous results, real-time data. ETL windows have went from 12 hours down to nil, right, seconds. The business actually has their hands on data that they didn't have before, which is huge
Right.
from our perspective. So that was just one little POC. We see other opportunities in the predictive space and other spaces in the analytic, HANA, BI, data services space. I mean, and then obviously we're implementing BPC and some other products to really drive home some of that performance, planning, simulation, that type of stuff. So,
Are there things that they're doing that gets you and your group excited? So, IT back-end stuff or ways you guys can integration or things like that that's getting you guys as you look in SAP's future, like, well, that's going to really help us, or that we're excited about from an IT perspective.
so the HANA platform is a database management system. That roadmap that they're driving to, I think that's huge from us, from our ECC systems, our CRM systems, our data warehousing, our non-SAP data. We've got huge opportunity in all those spaces using HANA as that database management platform, because it's not only this analytic engine, right? It could be a transaction system that you can actually pound on. So that has tremendous opportunity from our perspective of just executing our business on a day-to-day, as well as future growth of what we want to do with information and data. So.
Right, absolutely. Well, thank you very much for stopping in. Appreciate it. Nice to talk with you, and good luck with your presentation.
Great, thank you.
For more interviews, check out asugnews.com, and we'll be back in about 15 minutes with another interview. Thank you.